Hey man, I'm Jusko from ProudMoney.com. In this video, we're going to look at the best travel credit cards that have no annual fee. Now, I should preface this by saying I don't really think there are many credit cards out there that don't have an annual fee that would be a good credit card for you to have if you want to earn travel rewards. So there's really only two cards that I can think of that I would consider to be maybe my everyday credit card that don't have an annual fee and that would earn me some travel rewards. And then there's some other cards maybe I would consider either as complimentary cards, or there are some other cards that have sort of special stipulations that might be right for some people and not others. But we will go through some of these cards, and then afterwards I'll kind of give you the bigger spiel on why, if you want to earn travel rewards, you're better off being willing to pay at least a small annual fee to get a credit card that gives you more than these no annual fee cards. So let's start with those first two cards I mentioned. Number one is the Hilton Honors American Express card, no annual fee. 7 Hilton Honors points per dollar on your Hilton purchases. You're going to get 5 Hilton points per dollar on dining purchases, 5 points per dollar grocery purchases, 5 points per dollar on gas station purchases, and then 3 points per dollar on all of your other purchases with the card. Now that sounds great. That's a lot of points, but the thing about Hilton's reward program is they give a lot of points, but each individual point is not worth a ton. So I would peg those points at being worth about 4/10 of a cent when you go to redeem them. So 7 points per dollar you could think of as being like 2.8% as a reward. 5 points you could think of as being about a 2% reward in those dining, gas, and grocery categories. And then the 3 points per dollar and everything else you could think of as being about 1.2% as a reward. Not terrible, but not nearly as good as how they sound when you think about the point values that they're putting out there. In terms of a new cardholder bonus, as I make this video, 70,000 points you could earn, as well as an extra free night on the card if you spend $1,000 in the first 3 months after you get the card. So those 70,000 points, if we use that same calculation, about $280 worth of value. So maybe with that bonus you could get yourself 3 nights at a Hilton hotel, maybe only 2 nights depending on what kind of Hilton hotel that you are staying at. And with that extra bonus night, there are some stipulations of certain hotels that you cannot use that reward for, so make sure you would check that out as well. No foreign transaction fees on the card, so you could use it outside of the United States without getting any extra fees like so many credit cards do have. Overall with this card, it's okay. It's got no annual fee. You've got a nice bonus. You've got decent everyday rewards. Of course, everything you're getting is only toward Hilton purchases. So it's not like you can use these points in a lot of different ways. But if you really want to have a travel card with no annual fee, this might be the best choice out there. And then number 2 is a card that is very popular with renters, and that is the Bilt Rewards MasterCard. No annual fee. You get 3 points per dollar on dining purchases, 2 points per dollar on travel purchases, 1 point per dollar on everything else, and 1 point per dollar on rent payments. So with many credit cards, you can't use them to pay your rent unless you wanted to pay an extra charge, oftentimes to your landlord. But with the Bilt Rewards MasterCard, you can use your credit card to pay for your rent, and not only would you not get charged anything extra, you're even going to earn 1 point per dollar in the Bilt Rewards program. Now, if you don't know how that works, how can you pay your rent when your landlord's going to charge you extra? What Bilt does is they have agreements with certain large landlords in the country, and then even if they don't have an agreement with them, basically through the Bilt app, you can say you want to pay your rent with the credit card. They will then send a check to your landlord, essentially eat that fee that you might think that you would normally pay, and give you a reward on it. So that sounds pretty good. If you are somebody that rents, especially if you have a high rent, you can earn points on your rent and you're not getting any extra fee to pay your rent. So obviously that is a pretty compelling value proposition there. As I make this video, no bonus opportunity for new card holders on this, so that's, you know, one of those places where maybe the ability to pay rent kind of gets taken away from you in the fact that you're not going to potentially get a new bonus opportunity. They got to make this card work one way or another. In terms of using the points, you can use them for travel, and the best way to do that is to transfer them into one of the travel transfer partners that Bilt has partnered with, including United, American, Hyatt, and there are others as well. So that is really the way where you're going to get your travel benefit out of this card. Now, if you are not a renter, if you own a home, the Bilt Rewards MasterCard is okay. It's still no annual fee. It's got no foreign transaction fee, so it's got decent things going on, but this is really a card that you are going to see value in if you are a renter, and then with those pretty decent travel transfer partners, you can get some good travel rewards on a no annual fee card. Now, a few other cards to talk about here that, to be honest, I wouldn't really love as my everyday credit card because they aren't really great on the earnings on your everyday purchases, but they do have nice bonus opportunities on a no annual fee card. So as a new card holder, you could potentially get a nice chunk of points or rewards with these cards in the short term, and whether you'd use them beyond that, I'm not quite so sure. So there is the Wyndham Earner card where you can get a 45,000 point bonus if you spend $1,000 in the first 90 days after you get the card. Those 45,000 points could, in most cases, get you probably 3 hotel night stays, maybe less if you are looking at one of their higher end hotels, maybe more if you're looking at one of their lower end hotels, or not necessarily lower end, but oftentimes hotels that are going to be in maybe not the destinations that are like, you know, places where everyone wants to go. Maybe you just need to, like, you know, stay in some suburb somewhere, you're going to a wedding or something and you just need a hotel to stay at. Well, those might be on the super cheap end, but probably if you're going on vacation, you're going to pay at least 15,000 points a night. And if you're going somewhere even more desirable, or maybe they're one of their higher end hotels, we're talking about 30,000 points per night on some of those. So a lot of Wyndham hotels, most of them are not on the higher end. You're looking at the Wyndham brand, La Quinta, Microtel, and there are others within there as well. So it depends on what kind of travel you want to do, but a nice bonus up front. The rest of the card, only okay. Probably the best no annual fee card from a major airline would be the United Gateway card, although that is mostly, again, due to the bonus that you can earn as a new card holder, 30,000 United mileage plus miles if you spend $1,000 with the card in the first 90 days of having it. The everyday rewards, okay, 2 miles per dollar on United purchases, 2 miles per dollar on gas and transit purchases, just 1 mile per dollar on all other purchases with the card. It has no foreign transaction fees, but really as an everyday credit card, unless you really love United and maybe you're racking up a lot of points with United in some other way, this would not be a card that I'd be pulling out as my number one every day. The Marriott Bonvoy Bold, another no annual fee card that is nice on the front end in terms of a bonus, but don't know that I would want it to be my everyday card. You could earn 50,000 Marriott points if you spend $1,000 in the first 6 months with this card, so you got a good long time to reach that bonus. Those points probably going to be worth anywhere from $350 to $400 when you actually redeem them for Marriott stays. No foreign transaction fees on this card, but the everyday earnings not so hot. Now, there are a few other cards out there that maybe would fit your travel patterns, or maybe you are the perfect audience for them and they could make sense, even though none of them are cards that I really love. First off, there's the Bank of America Travel Rewards card. Gives you 1.5 points per dollar on all of your purchases. Those points are worth a penny a piece, so that's really a 1.5% reward, which really isn't all that great. The only reason I even mention this card is if you are part of Bank of America's preferred rewards program, meaning that you have a good deal of money somehow invested or saved with Bank of America. Otherwise, you could get a 50% or 75% potential boost on those points, meaning 1.5% could be 2.25%, or it could even be 2.62% when you are redeeming for travel. And so that's a pretty decent reward. But again, you have to have a lot of money with Bank of America in order to be part of that program. And if you don't, card not so great. The PenFed Pathfinder Rewards card is a decent travel rewards card if you are a member of Pentagon Federal Credit Union, known as PenFed. Now, this card does have a $95 annual fee, but that can be waived if you are either a member of the military, current or former, or if you are someone that has a checking account also with Pentagon Federal Credit Union, then you can be part of their Honors Advantage program, then they would waive that annual fee. So you have some decent rewards on this card, and you have some decent travel credits, so it's definitely one to take a look at. If you're someone that ever uses Amtrak, or you would be willing to start using Amtrak, you might like their no annual fee credit card. On the surface, it doesn't look like a whole lot, except for the points that you earn from Amtrak have good value per point. So you could be getting 2 cents or more per point when you go to redeem those cards. Now, obviously, you have to be somebody that either does or wants to travel by train, so it's not necessarily the widest audience compared to other cards where you're flying or staying at hotels, which is what probably most people think of when they talk about travel cards, but definitely worth looking at if it fits your idea of travel. IHG, Choice Hotels, and Best Western all have no annual fee credit cards that are okay. Mostly they're okay because of the value that you can get from their new cardholder bonuses. So most of that value coming on the front end. But if you are a traveler who prefers budget-friendly accommodations, one of those cards could work for you. And just to round this out, because someone would probably ask about these cards, there are 3 other cards from major airlines that have no annual fee, those being the JetBlue MasterCard, the American Airlines A Advantage Mile Up card, and the Delta Blue American Express card. I don't really love any of these cards. The JetBlue, probably the best of those 3 in terms of the value it gives. I don't really like the Delta or American cards much at all. If you're already earning points maybe with one of these airlines and you wanted to have their credit card as well, but you didn't want to pay an annual fee, maybe you would add one of these, but don't love any of them. Now, I said at the beginning of the video that I don't really love travel credit cards that have no annual fee, and that is because there are plenty of cash back credit cards on the market that have no annual fee that actually would deliver more value to you if you got those instead and just took the cash back you earned from those cards and put it toward travel, so you actually can get more from those. And for most people, if you want to earn travel rewards, you're actually going to be better off paying a little bit for a travel rewards credit card, because you're going to get more in new cardholder bonuses, you're going to get more in everyday rewards, you're going to get more of those perks you might want, like free checked bags or early boarding or status with hotels. A lot of cards under $100 per year, they're going to give you a whole lot more. Now, if you're going to pay an annual fee for a travel credit card, you want to be someone that spends a decent amount on your card, because obviously you want to sort of overcome that annual fee that you are paying every year. So if you're someone that puts less than maybe $5,000 per year on your credit cards, well then probably a travel credit card in general isn't really going to make sense for you. Maybe above $5,000 is where you start thinking that you would pay an annual fee to get yourself one of the better travel credit cards. But there are those options in the no annual fee space that maybe would be okay. That Bilt card in particular, if you are a renter, many people are happy with. And then again, the Hilton card has a pretty good bonus up front and okay everyday earnings. So that is it for me. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments section here on those cards, or any questions that you might have. Otherwise, I thank you for watching, and as always, please go to proudmoney.com, where we do credit card reviews, we talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. If you're not going to leave a comment or go to the website, you might want to watch next this video.